class. These things are there, right? So frictional force. So this is frictional force is coming because of the friction between chip and cutting tool. So it is shown as F here. So this particular portion, right? So this is the frictional forces, whatever is coming, frictional forces and normal reaction. So this is causing some kind of resultant force, these F and N. Similarly, there is some kind of shear force is acting at the shear plane. So this is represented by F suffix S. And in addition to shear force, there is some normal reaction, normal shear reaction also there. So that is F suffix N. So these are the two forces are acting at shear plane. So these two forces acting at a particular plane. So there is a resultant force are coming. So these resultant forces we are considering as R bar. So these things were seen in the last class, right? So we also seen so how to calculate all these things in that resultant whatever things we calculated. So in addition to that, we having one more setting forces are there, which is called as a cutting force. So FC and thrust force FT. So these are third pair of forces. So these forces also having some kind of reaction force that we can see as R double dash. So these are the three set of forces are acting in any cutting tool during machining. So these three set of set of forces, which is each set of force having two, means total 6 forces are there. So these 6 forces we can represent at a particular point. So this particular point is called as a tool tip. So this is the tool tip, right? So at this particular point, we are keeping this all the forces is representing here at this particular point. So in this is your frictional force, this is normal reaction, and this one is your shear force and reaction to the shear force, and this is the cutting force, and this is the thrust force. So all these things we are represented at one particular point, and at this particular point we have drawn a circle. So taking this R, because resultant of all the set of forces is coming same, right? R bar, R double bar, all these are resultant forces are same magnitude. Directions may be changed, but the magnitude is same, right? So directions are opposite. For example, you take R and R bar. So directions are opposite, but magnitude is same. So whatever this R is there, R is common for all the 3 set of forces. So what we need to do, we take center of this R as a center point and construct one circle. So when you construct the circle, so all the circle is passing through all the important points where these 2 forces are meeting. At this particular point, from this particular point, this point, and this point. If any circle if it's drawn, it is going this way, right? So it is going this way. This we have seen. So this circle, this is proposed by Merchant. So that's why this circle we used to call it as a Merchant circle. And this relationship, whatever the things are there, angular relationship. So this thing is called as a Merchant equations. So this we have seen in last class. We have seen this also. You see this, whatever the circle point is there at this particular point, takes this as a center, and we constructed one circle. So this circle is passing through all the important points. So this here you can see this is exactly the Merchant circle. So this circle we used to call it as a Merchant circle, and this relations whatever is there we used to call it as a Merchant relations, right? So Merchant circle or Merchant force circle. Some books it is mentioned as the Merchant force circle. Some textbook is mentioned as the Merchant circle. So right. So this formula also we have seen last class, right? So theta is nothing but your shear angle. So this is not 5. Some books it's actually theta, right? So theta. So from this Merchant relations you can get it. Theta is equal to 45 plus alpha by 2 minus beta by 2. So this formula is derived from this. I'm not going to discuss about derivation. So derivations is not there in your this MMT. But you better if you follow the derivation also. So derivation nothing but when you're taking this triangle, from this triangle also this formula is coming. So this is nothing but theta, and this is also considering as theta. So based upon your geometrical principle, if you say this is also coming as theta. So if you add these all the angle, so this theta plus beta minus alpha plus theta, this is coming to be 90 degrees. So because this is a right angle triangle. So in right angle triangle, one angle is 90 degrees and remaining 2 angles are 90 degrees. So when you add these things and equate to 90, so you're going to get this equation. So I'm not going to discuss derivation here. So please remember this. So this is called as a Merchant equation. So theta is nothing but shear angle. Shear angle, previously also we calculated shear angle in terms of tan theta. So tan theta equal to what we calculated tan theta previous before class. Can anybody remind me? Shear angle.
R sin theta by 1 minus R cos alpha.
Cos theta, R cos theta by 1 minus R sin theta. So please don't confuse in this. So cos theta is always coming in the numerator, sin theta is coming in the denominator. So r cos theta divided by 1 minus r sin theta. Even sometimes I also get confused. So please be careful, remember it. For me, confusion is fine. I can go and refer the textbook. But for you, if you forget in exam, if you take it wrongly, the answer is going to be wrong. So please be careful. So tan theta, theta is nothing but shear angles. Tan of shear angle equal to r. R is nothing but chip thickness ratio, chip thickness ratio, otherwise velocity ratio you can call. Cutting ratio. So r cos alpha by 1 minus r sin alpha. So that formula is there already. We have derived also that formula. So from merchant circle, so merchant equation, one more formula is coming. So in that, as per this formula, theta, which is nothing but your shear angle. Shear angle is coming as 45 plus alpha by 2. So what is alpha here in this? What is alpha? So alpha is nothing but rake angle. Rake angle is also called as a back rake angle. So nothing but here, if you say here, so this is a cutting tool. So in this picture, if you take, this is nothing but a cutting tool, right? So whatever the inclination you are giving on this face, this is cutting tool and this is the rake face or nothing but face. So how much inclination you are giving from the vertical plane? So this is called alpha. So this angle is called as a rake angle or nothing but back rake angle. So alpha is nothing but back rake angle. So 45 plus alpha by 2 minus beta by 2. So what is beta here? So beta we discussed in the last class. What is beta? What is beta here? So here we are having a three angles. One is alpha, one is beta, and one is theta. Theta is nothing but shear angle, right? And alpha is nothing but back rake angle or rake angle. So what is beta? So beta is here. So what is this beta? So anybody can tell me what is beta? So beta is nothing but it is this friction angle. So last class we discussed. So because this is F is a frictional force and M is a normal reaction due to friction. So if you take tan beta is nothing but F by N. So normally friction is represented by tan phi or tan theta. So in that theta is nothing but your friction angle. So here instead of theta we are, because already theta we are considering as a shear angle. So we are taking as a tan beta. So tan beta is nothing but equal to F by N. So F by N, maybe next, maybe I think in previous slide, somewhere I've discussed about this. Here it is there, you see. So F by N. So what is F? F is a frictional force and normal reaction. F by N equal to tan beta. So this tan beta is nothing but it is a frictional. F by N is nothing but coefficient of friction. So you studied in your engineering mechanics. So F by N is equal to coefficient of friction, and this is equal to, from this geometry, this is equal to tan beta. So tan beta is equal to nu. So this beta is nothing but, so tan beta is equal to coefficient of friction. So whatever the angle is coming, so this angle is nothing but friction angle. I hope everybody know this. So friction angle. So beta is nothing but friction angle. So this is nothing but this angle. So F and N, when you are having F and N, so both are perpendicular. So to that, whatever the resultant is there with a normal reaction, that whatever the angle is there, so that angle is calling it as a friction angle, right? So this beta is nothing but friction angle. So alpha by 2 minus beta by 2. So in this, so if you take this, you can go to the next slide. So in this, there is some criticality involving in this. So your theta value, what's nothing but shear angle. So shear angle is depending upon, previously what we have seen shear angle is depending upon cutting ratio, right? R value as well as alpha, back rake angle. But here, so in this equation, in this merchant equation, so shear angle is depends upon alpha, back rake angle plus friction angle also. So as the friction angle changes, your shear angle is changing. So as per this equation, so this merchant equation, so as the rake angle alpha is increases, I think this also we discussed in the last class. As the alpha is increases, so the alpha is here. So as the alpha is increases, what happened? Your theta value increases or decreasing? Increasing, right? So to increase the shear angle, if you want to increase the shear angle, previous class we discussed shear angle, depending upon shear angle, your cutting forces, cutting power will change. So as the angle is increases, so required power is decreasing. So here theta, whatever the shear angle is there, shear angle can control by alpha value. Alpha is nothing but your rake angle. As the rake angle increases, your shear angle also increases. So this already we have seen. Similarly here, so beta also coming. This is nothing but your friction angle, beta by 2. So because here it is, you see here minus is there. So as beta value increases, what happened? Your alpha value or your theta value will decrease, right? So always you make sure if this value has to make it higher, so this value you used to keep it as low as possible. So means friction has to be less. If friction is less, so if friction is less, definitely your power requirement is less. So if friction is less, your shear angle is less. You can have friction is less, your shear angle will be more. So as the shear angle will be more, your shear area will be less. So as the shear area will be less, the force acting on the shear area is less. So as the force is decreasing, your power requirement is decreasing, right? So this is your clear. So here by reducing the friction, so already if you're reducing the friction, power consumption in any process, whether it's a movement of a particular object or to applying a forces on any kind of bodies. So always if friction is more, power requirement is more. So here also same thing. If beta is increases, if high beta is there means, so definitely friction will be more. So if more friction, so you need to have more power is required to reduce the power, because our intentions are there. So we need to design a machine, or we need to do some process which consume less power. So with less power you can do the machining. So for that you need to make sure that your friction angle has to be as low as possible. So as low as possible means you need to make sure that your surface has to be smooth. So if surface of especially cutting tool surface, if it is smooth, your beta values decreases as well as power consumption will be less. So these are the two in previous relations we have seen that. So this whatever the friction is there, whatever the power consumption is there, it's depending upon thickness ratio as well as your alpha value. But here we are seeing in addition to alpha value, it is depending upon friction factor. So not with any other factor here, right? So in previous equation we can see the two factors, which is back rake angle and thickness ratio. So two factors affecting on the shear angle. So here also two factors. One is your back rake angle and second one is friction angle. So if you take that equation and this equation take into consideration, so three factors which is affecting the shear angle, that is back rake angle, friction angle as well as the friction, and third parameter is cutting ratio. So cutting ratio is nothing but your depth of cut. If depth of cut is more, so obviously you need to have more power. So these are the three factors which is controlling the theta value, shear value. So indirectly it is controlling the power requirement for any manufacturing process or any machining process. So I think these things were discussed last class. Now maybe we are entering for a new thing. So here I stopped last class, right? So this slide I have not discussed. So in this, the same thing, merchant circle. So this is nothing but merchant circle, right? So then points are not drawn the circle here. If you draw a circle which is passing through all these things, it's considering as a merchant circle. So in this merchant circle, you're having a different angles are there. So by using this different angle, you can find the different forces from this. If you're good in trigonometry, So here every triangle, you're having three different triangles are there. So one triangle is this, so which is consisting of cutting forces, FC cutting force as well as the thrust force, and second one this one, which is nothing but maybe what I will do, I will just change the color, right? So this is one. So this is one more triangle. So this triangle is, maybe you can call it as a shear force triangle. So FS and as well as FN, right? Shear force triangle. So two triangle, and one more triangle is there. So one more triangle is there, is nothing but friction triangle. So frictional force is also there. So in that frictional forces, whatever the triangle is there, so this triangle we can call it the friction triangle. So these are the three triangles are there in this merchant circle, right? So in this three triangle, common thing is there. So these are, whichever is there, is common for all the three triangles. So in these three triangles, if you know any two forces, so remaining four forces very easily you can calculate by using basic simple trigonometry principles, right? So last class we have seen. So in these shear forces, normal shear force, frictional forces and normal reactions. So all these things calculating or finding is little bit difficult. But easy thing is there. So what is the easy among all these things? I think cutting forces. So cutting forces as well as the thrust forces is very easy to calculate, right? We have seen. So by providing some kind of sensors, when a cutting tool is moving, so this is a typical cutting tool, right? When cutting tool is moving this direction, if you're providing some kind of sensors or some kind of equipment tools, so then we can measure it how much force this tool is applying on this direction on the workpiece. So FC can be possible to calculate. Similarly, there is a lateral thrust is there in that because of movement of your cutting, your workpiece is rotating or maybe your workpiece is reciprocating. So lateral direction, so FT. So these FC and FT is easy to calculate are easy to measure. So by experimentally, very easy to measure by using some kind of electronic equipments which can measure the force. By using that one, you can easily FC as well as FT you can calculate. So assume it in these 6 forces, you know FC and FT. By experimentally, you calculate it. So once you calculated FC and FT, so all other forces you can calculate if you know these geometric angles, right? So these geometric angles already you know. So this is alpha, right? This is alpha, nothing but this is alpha, right? So this alpha, you know what is there? Alpha is nothing but depending upon a cutting tool. So what is the backrake angle? And if you know the alpha and if you know the cutting chip thickness ratio, you can know the theta value also. You know theta value. So alpha value you know, theta value you know. You can calculate theta value, and also you can calculate the beta also, B value also. If you know the material, so workpiece material as well as the tool material. So for example, workpiece material is mild steel and tool material is something about high speed steel. So relative friction between these two, you know. When you know the coefficient of friction between two mating surfaces, you can easily calculate beta, right? Beta is nothing but is the friction angle. So coefficient of friction, tan inverse coefficient of friction will give you the beta. So in this alpha, beta, and theta, so all these angles you know. When you know all this angle and when you know this merchant circle diagram, then and you know this FC as well as FT, so other forces very easy you can calculate. The simple method, the trigonometric principle. So hypotenuse, this is all three are right angle triangles. In that R is nothing but hypotenuse for all the three triangles. Depending upon angles, whatever the beta angle, theta angle, as well as your alpha angle, you can calculate other sides of the triangles also. So in that basic thing, if you know FC and FT, so we are assuming that you know FC and FT. Once you know the FT and FC, so you can calculate R. So R is nothing but, because it's a right angle triangle, right? In a right angle triangle, if you apply Pythagoras theorem, so it's nothing but your cutting force square plus FT thrust force square under root. So under root FC square plus FT square will give you the R. So this R value is same for even other forces also. Even if you take this triangle, nothing but shear triangle. Here also that R is nothing but your Fs square plus Fn square. The same thing is there. Fs square plus Fn square under root will give you the R value. So R value is same. Similarly, if you take this triangle, nothing but friction triangle, right? This is frictional force and this is normal reaction. R is same. So here R is you can calculate as F square plus N square, right? F square plus N square under root. So R is same. So then we can say that this, whatever the forces are there, so different forces, if you square it and under root, is giving the same value. So you can make it as the same. So from these relations, so from these angles, we can find any force, right? So first we can see the frictional force. So how to calculate the frictional force? The simple formula is there. I'm not going to discuss about derivation. Derivations are simple. So whatever the formulas here is there, FC square plus FT square, then you can having the angles. In that, if you take and substitute it, so this value will coming. So F friction force is coming as FT cos alpha plus FC sin alpha. So what is FT? Nothing but thrust force or nothing but vertical force. If you see in this picture, so FT is nothing but vertical force. So vertical force cos alpha. What is cos alpha? Cos alpha is nothing but your rake angle. So alpha is here. So rake angle plus FC. FC is nothing but cutting force and nothing but horizontal force in this diagram. FC sin alpha. So FT cos alpha plus FC sin alpha will give you the frictional force. So FT and FC is easy to calculate. By experimentally, you can calculate FT, FC. If you calculate FT, FC, you can calculate friction force. So similarly, normal reaction, the quite opposite to that one. So frictional force is here. So this side of the triangle. Normal reaction is this side of the triangle. So in normal reaction, we can find with FC cos alpha minus FT sin alpha. So from this, if you take from this relations, triangular trigonometrical relations, you're going to get this one. So normal reaction is nothing but cutting force into cos alpha minus cutting thrust force into sin alpha. So simple equation for finding the frictional force as well as normal reaction, right? So similarly, in addition to these two more forces are there. So shear force also is need to find. So how to find the shear force? Same R value. So same R value, FC square plus Fn, FC square plus FT square under root, same R value. So now you can take this triangle, the shear force triangle. If you take this force triangle and you need to resolve all the forces about the particular direction, then you are going to get your normal reaction. So normal reaction, this one. So nothing but this. So normal reaction. There is a formula is there for normal reaction. Cutting force into sin theta. So here theta is coming into picture. Theta is nothing but your shear angle. So shear angle also, you know the shear angle, right? Theta. So using alpha value and beta value as well as alpha value as well as R value, you can calculate the theta value. So theta value is the shear angle. If you know the shear angle and you know this FC and FT, you can calculate the normal reaction also, shear normal reaction. So FC into sin theta plus FT into cos theta. Similarly, in other side of the triangle, this side of the triangle also you can find it. So shear force. So most important thing is the shear force, FC cos theta minus FT sin theta, right? So by this, from this trigonometrical relations, you're going to find your all the forces in any object or any cutting tool. So these are the 6 shear forces are acting in workpiece as well as the cutting tool during machining process. So in this FC cutting force as well as the FT thrust force, we are measuring experimentally, right? So when you know this through 2 values, 2 forces, and we know the geometric principles of alpha, theta, and beta value, then we can find the other 4 forces also. So now I request all the students to please note down this. So please note down in your class notes. This is important formulas for you. So now, I'm not derivations are not required. Please remember this formula. So next after 2 slides, maybe we're going to see one problem also on this. So everybody please note down. I'm giving 2 minutes time for you to note down.
Can you erase that?
Okay, I will erase that one. Okay. Okay, please note down fast. So almost 26 minutes are over. So then remaining 14 minutes are there for completion of this session. So only you can note down these formulas, this and this table. So these pictures are not required. Already you drawn previously. So this picture is not required. And these formulas, please remember these four equations. If you know this one, so it's very easy for you to remember all these formulas. It's not very much difficult. So if you remember this diagram, it will be very easy. So can I go for next slide now? 2 minutes are over.
Yes, sir.
So okay, I'm going for next slide. So now coming to the shear stress, right? Here we are discuss about in terms of FT and FC. But sometimes, I think as I told you the last class, if you know the property of the material, if you know the property of the workpiece material or nothing but your blank material, you can calculate the FC also, nothing but your shear force. So FS, so whatever the FS is there, whatever you've seen in the last of this one. So this FS can be possible to calculate if you know the strength of the material or nothing but properties of the material, properties of work material. If you know, you can calculate the shear forces. So simple example is, so shear stress. So what is the shear stress? So shear stress is nothing but whatever the stress acting in this particular area, right? So this is the shear plane. So in this plane, whatever the stresses are there, so that is considering as the shear stress. So how to calculate the shear stress normally? So Fs by As, right? So frictional shear force divided by As, nothing but area of the shear. So this area. So area of this one. So this area, if you know the shear force one, previously we calculated shear force, right? So if you know the shear force divided by As, you are going to calculate the shear stress. So whatever the shear stress the material is undergoing during deformation, right? So what is As? So As is nothing but area of shear plane. So how to calculate the area of the shear plane? So this is a typical shear plane. Just try to magnify this one. So whatever this area is there, just I remove this everything. So just if you want to see this, so this is your chip, uncut chip thickness, right? T1. So if you take only this portion, right? I'm taking only this portion. If you take only this portion, so this is look like this. So whatever is there, so this look like this. So this is the uncut chip thickness T1, and this is the angle T. So now angle T is nothing but your shear angle. So from this, so what we need to find? So we need, if you want to find the As is nothing but this area, right? So this whatever you see, so this area. So this area, whatever the area is there, so this area is nothing but this area, right? Just I'm just trying to hatch it, this portion. So this is the your shear area. So we need to find, if you know the shear area, you can calculate this shear stress. If you know the shear stress and you know the shear area, you can calculate Fs also. So anything you can calculate. Already in previous slide, we calculated, we seen some relations, some formulas to find the shear force. Once you know the shear force and you can calculate the shear area, then you can easily calculate the shear stress. So what the shear stress is coming at this particular point, right? So that is calculated by this shear force divided by AS, area of shear. So area of shear we can calculate from this. So this hatch portion is nothing but area of the shear. So T1, right? So the initial thickness or uncut chip thickness divided by, so this is nothing but, this is, if you take theta, this is the angle theta. So this is nothing but right angle triangle. Maybe I'll delete this. So just I'm deleting this hatching portion. Just assume, so this is one triangle, right? So T1, theta, this is one right angle triangle. So if you know the T1, so we can easily find this one, right? So this is the whatever the width of this, so this area, one of the side of this area. So area I want to calculate, nothing but W into this length, right? So this length we need to calculate. We know T1. So T1 is nothing but your uncut chip thickness or nothing but depth of cut. So once you know the T1, so you can easily calculate this shear area. So how to calculate the shear area? Simple, by using this triangle. So taking this triangle and this, you can see. So sin theta, if you take, sin theta is nothing but, right? So sin theta is nothing but your opposite side by adjacent side. So sin theta is T1 by this side. So this side is nothing but is considering as your maybe you can consider it as X, right? So if you want to find this one, so this X is nothing but T1 divided by sin theta. So here, whatever the width is, this dimension is there, that is nothing but T1 divided by sin theta. So T1 divided by sin theta is this side, and this length, whatever the length of the tool is there, it's considering as a W. So area of shear, so shear plane area is coming as T1 uncut chip thickness into width of the cutting tool divided by sin theta. So theta is nothing but your shear angle. So from this you can calculate AS. So what is required to finding the AS? So WNO easy to find, is nothing but width of the tool, and T1 also you know, it's nothing but depth of cut. Theta value you can easily calculate. If you know the alpha value, you can calculate theta value. So easily you can find AS. So shear area you can easily find. So AS you can calculate by this T1 W by sin theta. If you know Fs, if you substitute this value, you are going to get shear strength, shear stress of the material. If you're coming to be quite opposite, so this whatever the shear stress is there, so this shear stress is nothing but shear strength of the material, right? So if you don't know the other parameter, if you know the shear strength of the material, you can calculate by going up, by going in this direction. So you can calculate. So if you're going in this direction, you can calculate the shear stress. If you know the shear stress is nothing but shear strength. So shear strength is nothing but, what is shear strength? So what is the difference between stress and strength? So somebody can tell me what is the difference between stress and strength? These both are same. If you say in this, shear stress is equal to shear strength. So stress and strength is same. So then why these two different terms are there? Strength and stress. Why not the same word can use? So what is the difference between stress and strength?
Sir, load per area is stress, no, sir?
Yes, load by area is stress, exactly. S is nothing but here we having a formula, right? So this is nothing but shear
Yes.
stress. So load, force, Fs, force divided by area. Shear force divided by shear area give you the stress, right? And what is strength?
Yes, sir.
What is strength?
Means it. I think load का उसमें ज़्यादा वो नहीं बताऊंगा सर.
Is it? Don't try to.
मतलब एरिया में.
Yes, एरिया में क्या डिफरेंस है एरिया में? दोनों के एरिया में?
एरिया छोटा रहता है सर. पक्का नहीं मालूम था. Sorry sir.
Okay.
Sir,
So
stress
I'm
में
telling you,
unit
actually these
area
things
पे
are.
करते हैं.
Yeah, somebody is telling. Please tell me.
स्ट्रेस पे एक यूनिट एरिया पे लोड अप्लाई करते हैं सर.
Okay, stress में unit area थोड़ा इतना करते, right? Strength में?
Sir, change in dimension by original dimension, sir.
That is called strain. Change in dimension by original dimension is called as a strain. This is I'm asking about strength.
स्ट्रेंथ पे पूरे बॉडी पे अप्लाई करते हैं सर लोड.
Strength पे, stress पे नहीं करते.
Sir, strength internal resistance to the material, sir.
Okay, strength and stress both are internal to the body. You just listen it, because my time is coming to end 40 minutes. So this is a body, right? Assume this is a three-dimensional body. So in that we are applying some kind of force. So that force here is nothing but Fs, right? So Fs divided by whatever this area is there. So this is called as a strength, right? So Fs just assume it 100 kilonewton, right? 100 kilonewton समझो, और ये 10 by 10 है. So your this is 10 and this is 10. So 100 kilonewton divided by 100 mm square, 10 into 10. So that will give you the stress. So 1 kilonewton per mm square, right? That is called stress, right? ठीक है ना? ये stress है.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So instead of 100 kilonewton, if I'm applying 1000 kilonewton, right? If applying 1000 kilonewton, what is the stress of this material? This one, what is the stress is coming? So previously 100 force divided by this area, 10 by 10, 100 divided by 10 into 10. So 1 kilonewton has come. Now I'm replacing. Now I'm not applying 100 kilonewton. I'm applying 1000 kilonewton, right? So how much it will come? So 1000 divided by 10 by 10. So then what? How much it will come? It is coming 10 kilonewton by mm square, right? ठीक है? So this is also stress. That is also stress. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right? So like this, if it goes on increasing your force, your stress is increasing. Now your 1000 kilonewton now increase to 5000 kilonewton. That is coming as 50 kilonewton per mm square. And if it is further increases to 10,000 Newton force, if you apply, that is coming to be 100 kilonewton per mm square. Right? So like this stress is goes on increasing. Right? ठीक है ना? Is it right or not?
Yes.
Right? It goes on increases strength, 10,000 kilonewton, 1 lakh kilonewton, 1 million kilonewton, whatever the kilonewton, meganewton, giganewton, goes on increasing, right? Your stress is increasing. Is that possible? तो possible है वैसा? आपका टेबल है घर में, राइट? टेबल पे आप एक किलो मतलब एक 100 किलो का बैग रख रहे, टेबल विथस्टैंड कर लेता, right? 100 kg मतलब 1000 kilonewton divided by just assume that area of your table is something about 100 mm square or 1000 mm square, right? Right? 1 किलो का बैग रखे आप एक टेबल पे which is 1000 mm square, right? withstand करा, right? It generating some kind of 1 kilonewton force. और एक थैला रखे उस पे, और एक 100 किलो का थैला रखे, मतलब 100 किलो का ऑलरेडी है और एक 100 किलो का रखे, 200 हो गया, तो स्ट्रेस बढ़ रहा. लाइक दिस स्ट्रेस बढ़ाते जाते हो आप, मे बी 10 बैग्स रख दिए उस पे, राइट? तो 10 बैग बोलते हो 1000 kgs is nothing but 10,000 kilonewton force, right? तो 10,000 kilonewton force रखे आप उसी एरिया में, बढ़ रहा नहीं, एरिया सेम है. उस तरीके से आप बैग्स रखते जाएंगे तो अब तक कब तक रखते जाएंगे वैसा फोर्स ऑन टेबल?
No,
रख सकते, इन्फिनिट रख सकते, जा सकते हैं 1000 बैग, 2000 बैग, 3000 बैग रख सकते
no,
हैं.
no, sir.
नहीं ना, एक पर्टिकुलर पोजीशन आने के बाद मटेरियल टूट जाता.
रेसिस्टिविटी तक रख सकते सर उसकी.
कितने कहां तक रख सकते? 50 तक रख सकते.
रेसिस्टिबिलिटी जो है ना टेबल की,
रेसिस्ट, यस ऑफ कोर्स, दैट डिपेंडिंग अपॉन योर मटेरियल. तो बेस मटेरियल, टेबल का मटेरियल क्या यूज कर रहे हैं. अगर टेबल का मटेरियल वुड का है तो आप 10, 15, 12, 15 उससे ज्यादा नहीं रख सकते. और वही टेबल का मटेरियल अगर स्टील का है तो आप में भी 50 तक रख सकते. और वही अगर टेबल का मटेरियल आपको और स्ट्रांग मटेरियल लाइक टंगस्टन से है या कुछ दूसरे मटेरियल से है तो आप तकरीबन 100 तक भी रख सकते हो उसमें बैग, राइट? सो दिस लिमिट up to which you can apply the force is called as a strength. Stress is nothing but you're calculating how much force you're applied and what is the cross-sectional area that will give you the stress. But what is the limiting stress that particular object or particular material can withstand? So that is called strength. So stress or strength both are same. So units, everything is same. But strength is nothing but limiting stress at which the material going to fail or material going to deform. That is called strength. That's why strength is considering as a property of material. इस तरीके से आप एक टेबल पे 10 बैग रखे, लकड़ी का टेबल है तो 10 बैग रख सकते, राइट? तो on wood table you can keep 10 bags of 100 kg means 1000 kg you can keep it. वो अगर if it is a steel you can keep it little more. If it wood, if you're keeping a 11th bag, what happened? It is going to break. हो जाता है break. So वो जो limiting stress है, 10 bags, nothing but your 1000 kg with nothing but 10,000 kilonewton force divided by that particular area, 1000 mm square if you assume. So that limiting stress, whatever is there, maximum a material can withstand is called as the strength of material, right? So ये limiting stress को strength बोलते हैं. Stress and strength both are same. So stress बोलते हो आप infinite, कितना भी जैसा force बढ़ाते चले जाओ stress बढ़ते चले जाता. But ये strength हर material में ये strength stress का एक limit रहता. वो लिमिट के बियॉन्ड स्ट्रेस नहीं जनरेट हो सकता मटेरियल में. तो दैट लिमिटिंग स्ट्रेस इज कॉल्ड एज द स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ द मटेरियल. राइट? इज इट क्लियर नाउ? स्ट्रेस एंड स्ट्रेंथ.
Yes, sir.
So remember ना, हमेशा ये बोलिए, कोई पूछेंगे स्ट्रेस स्ट्रेंथ में क्या डिफरेंस है. स्ट्रेस और स्ट्रेंथ बोथ आर सेम. If the stress is reaching to the limit of the material is called as the strength, and strength of the material is nothing but it's a property of material, right? So ये याद रखिए ये area. So if you know the shear strength, then you can back calculate and you can find Fs. So there is some formulas are there in this. Maybe 40 minutes are coming to end. 39.23 हो रहा. Just I'm trying to keep these formulas again. अगर यहाँ से यहाँ पर अगर चले गया तो maybe you can join after 10 minutes. So right, so same relations are there. So R equal to FC square, FT square. But only thing here what we seeing, we are calculating through Fs. So इससे पहले क्या कर रहे थे हम? FC and FT we are taken, and from that we calculate other parameters. But now we calculate FC, Fs. Just now we are seeing. If we know Fs, so how to calculate other parameters? The simple thing. So every relation, because R value is there. If you know the trigonometry, the simple formulas can come. FC equal to R cos beta minus alpha, and FT is equal to R sin beta minus alpha. This is nothing but our trigonometry we are getting. So this, from this trigonometry, if you know R value in terms of Fs, you can calculate even FC and FT also. So FC is coming as Fs into cos beta minus alpha. So what we are doing here, same thing. FC is nothing but this FC only. So यही FC है. But this FC का R value we are substituting in terms of Fs. So Fs equal to R into cos theta plus beta minus alpha, right? So this R value I am writing in terms of Fs. So R equal to Fs by, इसको इधर ला सकते हैं ना, Fs divided by cos theta plus beta minus alpha, right? So same thing. So one R value no, I'm substituting in this. I'm removing this R value and substituting this Fs value. So this in terms of Fs, R value in terms of Fs. Fs divided by cos theta plus beta minus alpha. So this is nothing but R value. So ये R values में substitute कर दिए. तो FC you can calculate if you know only Fs value. If you know, you can calculate FC, cutting force. So if you know beta, we know that beta, alpha, and theta we already know. Shear angle, rake angle, as well as friction angle. So all these parameters we already know. If you know, we having a tool in our hand, we can measure these values, right? Similarly for FT also. So if you know Fs, so in this formula, FT, the same thing. Whatever the R value is there, that R value I'm substituting. Same thing. R value the same है. So Fs divided by cos, R value is coming from this. So Fs divided by cos theta plus beta minus alpha. So that will give you the R value. So यहाँ पर cos beta minus alpha था, यहाँ पर sin beta minus alpha. If you know the shear force, if you know what are the shear force acting are nothing but shear force. If you know the shear strength of the material. So from the shear strength of the material, if you know the shear force Fs, you're going to calculate even FC and FT. That's why. So your cutting process is also depending upon type of material. So whatever the material you're using for the cutting tool, whatever the material you're cutting, workpiece material as well as cutting tool material. So as the material changes, your this values also will change. As material changes, for example, you are having aluminum material. So shear strength of the material. So here we are not talking about stress of the material. We are talking about strength of the material. Means whatever the how much maximum the force we can apply on aluminum material. So that we are calculating here. The force divided by that particular area, it's called as a strength, right? So how much maximum stress an aluminum material can withstand, that is called as the strength of the material. If you know the strength of the material of aluminum, you can calculate FC as well as FT. Similarly for steel, if you know the Fs, shear force or shear stress of strength of the steel, you can calculate cutting force as well as the thrust force. What we can tell in this, that if you know the basic material properties, you can calculate how much cutting force is required, how much thrust force is required. So this is also an important parameter for this force calculations. Please note down these parameters also. This is also coming from the trigonometry only, from these triangles. It's not coming from anything from outside. So please note down this also. So previously, if you know FC and FT, we are calculating other 4 parameters. So now what we are doing, if you know only Fs, so only shear force, if you know how to calculate FC, FT is the simple method, right? Once you know FC, FT, so this FC, FT you can substitute in the previous equation. You can going to get all other F, frictional force, F, normal reaction, N, as well as Fn. So all these things you're going to get. So please note down these formulas also. So our time is extended. Maybe after 2 minutes, maybe this is going to stop. Maybe this is extended to 45 minutes, maybe. Please note down these equations. Don't note down, not required to note down this diagram. You just note down these equations. I'm giving 1 minute time. Right. So come to the velocity calculations. So like forces are acting on the workpiece as well as a cutting tool. Similarly, the velocity also involving in machining process, especially cutting tool. So when cutting tool is cutting, so there is some kind of motion is there between the workpiece and cutting tool. So laterally, whatever maybe you have seen in your wood cutting lathe, right? So whatever the cutter you have, so cutter you are relatively moving forward. So that is one velocity. Similarly, the chips are coming out. So chips are coming out and chips are moving on the cutting surface. That is one kind of velocity or nothing but motion involving. Similarly, third velocity or third motion. So inside your workpiece, whatever the shear deformation is happening to get the chip, there also some kind of shear flow is happening. So like this, total 3 different kind of velocities are involving in cutting or during machining. So those velocities, if you want to come step by step. So first one is your cutting velocity, right? So at which your cutting tool is moving. It's not workpiece velocity. It's not workpiece is moving. At which cutting tool are nothing but your lateral movement to the rotation of axis. So that velocity is called as a cutting velocity. The velocity at which material is cutting the workpiece or the tool is cutting the workpiece is called as a cutting velocity. So in this, if you take, this is the typical, whatever the merchant diagram we have seen. So similarly, that one only. So this is a typical workpiece, right? And this is a shear plane, whatever we have seen, shear plane. And this is nothing but your cutting tool. So in this cutting tool, this is a workpiece. So in this, we try to fix all the velocity vectors in this. So as your cutting tool is this, right? So this is your cutting tool. So this cutting tool is moving in this direction, right? Then only cutting is happen. So whatever the cutting tool is there, so this velocity is considering as a cutting velocity. Is nothing but V. So cutting velocity normally we mentioning units, meters per minute or maybe meters per second, right? So cutting velocity normally we are representing meters per minute. So this is one velocity. Then second velocity, the shear velocity. So this is as cutting tool, it's moving forward. So what happened? This is nothing but your workpiece, right? This is workpiece, and your at shear plane, your material is deforming, and you're going to get a chips, right? So like these chips are coming out from this. So this shear plane, whatever is there, shear plane also moving. So this just assume shear plane. This what is as the material is moving forward, the deformation is happening in the shear plane. So maybe some kind of motion in this direction. So in this direction, some kind of velocity is happening. So this velocity is considering as Vs, is nothing but shear velocity. And third velocity is friction velocity. So friction velocity is nothing but when chip is moving about this. So at this particular point, whatever the velocity is there, so this velocity is considering as a friction velocity. So what we have done to make it the simplicity, so whatever this, so this is a vector direction of your cutting velocity, and whatever the friction velocity is there, so this is shifted parallel to this one at the end of the cutting velocity. So we kept it this friction velocity, or nothing but flow velocity. This is called as the friction velocity, also considering as the flow velocity. So flow of chip. So this is then end of this one. So whatever is there, starting of this and end of this, we just are closing with Vs. So velocity of shear. So now we are going to get a triangle. Just I'm erasing all this. So finally, we are going to get a triangle. In this triangle, 4 different sides of the triangle is representing triangle 3 sides, right? So 3 sides of the triangle is represented 3 different velocities. So this is a typical triangle, right? So in this typical triangle, so one side is Vc, cutting velocity, one side is Vf, friction velocity or nothing but flow velocity, and one side is Vs, nothing but your shear velocity. By using this triangle, in this triangle, and also there is a different angles are there. So this angle you already know. So this is direction of cutting tool, and this is the shear plane. So angle between the horizontal and shear plane, we're considering as a shear plane angle, theta. So this angle you know, theta, and this angle also know. How much? What is this angle? So this angle is nothing but this angle. If you take this angle, so this angle is nothing but your alpha value, is nothing but rake angle. The same angle, this whatever the velocity of there, velocity of friction is nothing but this velocity, right? So this we are shifted. So to shifted from this direction from here to here, but angle whatever is there the same. So this is alpha, right? So this is alpha and this is the 90 degrees. So this angle is coming as 90 minus alpha, right? So this angle is 90 minus alpha because this angle is 90. Just I will try to draw a line. So this is nothing but perpendicular to this one, right? So this is the 90 degrees. And this angle is nothing but this angle. This is nothing but rake angle. This angle and this angle is same. So this angle is alpha. So because this alpha, this is also alpha because these both are parallel lines, right? So parallelly we are shifted. So 90. So this is total angle is 90 and this angle is alpha. So what is this angle? So this angle is nothing but 90 minus alpha. So 90 minus alpha is here. So this angle is 90 minus alpha. Similarly, this one more angle is there, right? So when this is 90 minus alpha, this is theta. So this angle is obviously, so total angle in a triangle is 180 degrees. So this angle, if you want to calculate, nothing but 180 minus 90 minus alpha minus theta. If you remove from 180, you remove this angle as well as this angle. Now you're going to get this angle. So 180 minus 90. So it is coming as 90. 90, this minus is become plus, right? So plus alpha minus theta. So this angle is coming 90 plus alpha minus theta. So in this triangle, you know all these three sides and also you know about three angles, right? So in this, about these three velocities, even if you know any one velocity, so other velocities can easy to calculate by using sine principle, right? By using sine rule, if you know any one velocity among these three, means any one side of any triangle, one side of a triangle and three angles of the triangle, if you know other two sides of the triangle, you can calculate, you can find using sine principle, right? This already you studied in your trigonometry. The same sine principle we are applying, we are going to apply here to find the velocities in other direction. If you know one velocity, so other velocities is very easy to calculate. So what is sine rule? So can anybody tell me what is sine rule? So please recollect your trigonometry, but this is maybe you studied in your SSC or maybe intermediate. So if any triangle, the side of the triangle, one side of the triangle and opposite angle, sine of that angle, ratio of all the three sides are same. For example, if you take VF by sine theta, so whatever the ratio is there is equal to VS, side of this one divided by sine of the opposite angle. So VS divided by sine of 90 minus alpha is equal to this VC divided by sine of 90 plus alpha minus theta. This is called sine principle. So that I am taking sine principles only here. So I am taking only two, VC and VS. So VC is this, VS is this. So these I am just taking these two sides. So I am just taking a ratio. So VS divided by this angle. So VS divided by sine. So VC, right? So VC divided by, so this angle is nothing but sine 90 plus alpha minus theta. So this is equal to, so this dimension are nothing but VS divided by this angle. So VS divided by 90 minus alpha. So VS divided by 90 minus alpha is equal to VC divided by sine 90 plus alpha minus theta is also equal to VF divided by sine this theta. So this is the sine rule. Maybe you can go back and recollect your information from the trigonometry. The same thing I am taking. To make it simplify, I am taking only two sides. The third side maybe I will take it later. So first I am taking two sides. So VS divided by this angle. So VS divided by sine of 90 minus alpha is equal to VC. VC is nothing but this one. So VC divided by sine of this angle. Sine 90 plus alpha minus theta. Right. So normally usual practice what we used to do. Normally cutting velocity we can easily measure. So cutting velocity is nothing but the feed. So you whatever the cutting tool you are moving to remove the material is nothing but is considering as a feed. So depending upon machining process to machining process or depending on machine to machine, so this parameter may be changed, but you just assume it's nothing but a feed. Laterally at which you are moving the cutting tool parallel to the axis, that is considering as a VC, cutting velocity. If you know that cutting velocity, so other velocities you can easily calculate if you know all these three angles. And finding these three angles are not difficult. Alpha is nothing but rake angle. You know what is the rake angle of the cutting tool, and other thing is theta. Theta also you can calculate if you know R and R value and alpha value. You can calculate the theta also. Once you know alpha value and theta value, so you can easily calculate if you know the cutting velocity. So other velocity you can easily calculate. So how to calculate that? Come to the second step. You see here what we have done. We need to find VS. We know VC. So VS, you want to find, what you used to do, you need to take these values at this time. So VS equal to VC sine 90 minus alpha, because sine 90 minus alpha we take in this side. So here it is the denominator. So when it's coming here, it becomes numerator, right? So VC into sine 90 minus alpha divided by sine. So as it is, this word already is there. Sine 90 plus alpha minus theta. So to make it simplified, so sine 90 minus alpha, what is sine 90 minus alpha? We can write it as a cos alpha. So sine 90 minus alpha is nothing but cos alpha. So just we are simplifying here. So VC into sine 90 minus alpha also we can write it as a cos alpha. So VC cos alpha divided by sine 90 plus alpha minus theta. So sine 90 plus alpha minus theta also write it as a cos theta minus alpha, right? So this it will become, actually what happened, sine value when it's coming sine 90 plus, so this is coming as minus cos. To make that, removing that minus cos, we are taking minus inside and writing it as cos theta minus alpha, right? So VC cos alpha by cos theta minus alpha. This is one relation to find. If you know the velocity, cutting velocity, you can find shear velocity using this formula. Cutting velocity into cos alpha divided by cos theta minus alpha. If you want to find the other velocity, or nothing but VF, so same formula. So once you know this, right? So this is cutting velocity, we know. So this you can take this relations VC by sine 90 plus alpha minus theta equate to this one, VF divided by sine theta. That maybe I can take it in this is here. The same thing. So instead of VS, VS is replacing with VF. So VF is nothing but this one. So VF divided by sine theta. VF divided by sine theta. This is equal to same thing again. VC divided by sine 90 plus alpha minus theta. 90 plus alpha minus theta. Right? So again, you need to simplify this one. VF you can keeping here, taking sine theta is the other side. VC into sine theta divided by sine 90 plus alpha minus theta. You make all the simplifications. So VC sine theta already simplified, and sine 90 minus theta, same thing is coming here. So sine theta is coming as cos 90 minus alpha. The same thing. So if you know the VC, you can calculate both the velocity of flow or friction velocity as well as the shear velocity. Both can calculate. And cutting velocity you can calculate from the initially whatever the speed you are giving. You know that. If you not know, maybe using some kind of extra attachment, you can find that at what speed your cutting tool is moving. So from that you find the cutting velocity. Once you know the cutting velocity, all these parameters you can easily find. So these things are there about velocity calculations. So 6 forces and 3 velocities is required to calculate in machining process, right? So these formulas you're supposed to remember. So please take note of this one, velocity relations. I'm giving you 1 minute. So please note down this, or maybe you can take a screenshot. Then we can go for next slide. So next slide, maybe I'm going to take one problem. Only 23 students are there in the class. Can I go to the next slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So now we can see one problem. So that whatever we discussed, that maybe you can understand. So actually, this is one of the problem. Yesterday, one of your classmate has shared me. He asked me, sir, how to solve, or please explain me, right? So there is one problem is there. So orthogonal cutting. So as already we discussed, so you people know that what is orthogonal cutting, right? So previous problem also orthogonal cutting only, because so in our this subject, all the cutting whatever we are considering is orthogonal cutting only. We are not worrying about oblique cutting. So in an orthogonal cutting of steel with 10 degrees rake tool with depth of cut 2 mm and feed rate 0.2 mm per minute. The cutting speed is 200 meters per minute. Cutting speed is given. The chip thickness ratio is 0.31. Here directly chip thickness ratio is given. The vertical cutting force is 1200 Newton. It's nothing but your cutting force FC. So vertical cutting force is 1200 Newtons and horizontal cutting force 650 Newton. FC and FT. So vertical cutting force is FT and horizontal cutting force as FC, whatever we are seeing. So using the merchant theory, calculate the shear work done W in this metal cutting. So please, you can read this question carefully. If possible, you can note down your class notes. So once you can understand the question, then we can move forward for the solution. So read the question carefully. So here I'm putting one merchant equation he told, right? So I'm copying a merchant circle here. So I hope everybody, you read first the question for 1 minute, then we'll discuss about the solution. So this is normally for more marks. This kind of question is coming in the exam. It will come minimum 5 marks or maybe 10 marks also. So if it is a 10 marks, definitely this diagram you need to draw. Even for 5 marks also, if time permits, please draw this diagram. So whatever the diagram I've shown you, so this is nothing but merchant's diagram, right? Merchant circle or merchant's force circle. So what the data is given in this? Can somebody tell me what is the data is given? So orthogonal cutting of steel with 10 rake tool. So 10 degrees rake tool means? Yes, tell me.
Alpha, I think, sir.
Yes. So this is nothing but rake tool. It's not mentioning as a rake angle. Rake tool means 10 degrees rake means it's a rake angle only, because degrees is angle only. Rake, so take it as a rake angle. So rake angle is alpha is 10 degrees, right? Depth of cut 2 mm is given. So what is the depth of cut? So depth of cut 2 mm. So depth of cut is nothing but uncut chip thickness. We have seen in previous class, previous problem also. So if something is given as depth of cut is nothing but uncut chip thickness. So uncut chip thickness we are considering as a T1. So T1 is 2 mm. So what other things are there? So also given as the feed. So feed is given 0.2 mm per minute. It's nothing but your, because velocity term also is given. So feed given as 0.2 mm per minute. And similarly, what other parameters are given? Chip thickness ratio directly given. So previous problem we calculated the chip thickness, but here it's not giving the chip thickness of chip, but ratio of chip thickness is given. So directly given. So we just will take chip thickness as 0.31. So chip thickness is nothing but R value in our calculations. So then vertical cutting force. So vertical cutting force is given as 1200 Newton. So in this, if you take, so this is what is the vertical? So this is a vertical, right? So whatever the vertical is considering as Ft. So from this diagram, Ft is vertical force. So Ft is taken as 1200 Newton. And horizontal cutting force. So this is horizontal, right? So Fc. So this horizontal cutting force, take it as Fc. So horizontal cutting force Fc is given as 650 Newtons. So this data is given. I think one more data we missed it. The cutting speed.
Yes, sir. Speed.
Cutting speed Vc, right? That is 200 meters per minute. These data is given in the question. And what is asking? Using the merchant's theory, calculate the work done, right? Asking about work done. So, but what we discussed in just now slides, we discussed about velocity. We discussed about force. Is we discussed about work? Are we discussed about work? No, we are not discussed work. Then how to calculate work? Can we derive the equation for work again? What is work done? What is the work done? Go back to your physics. So work done is nothing but force into distance, right? If some force applied on a body and move the body at particular distance, then we can call it as some work as happening on that particular object. Means force we applied, that force is F, into it is moved some distance, D. Fd equal to work done, right? So here that work done, whatever the distance, if it is moved in unit time, if you take d by t, so d by t is nothing but velocity, right? So that also gives you the work done. So work done in unit time. So work done in unit time is considering as a power, or also called as a work done also. So here what we used to calculate, that also work done in watts. In question is given watts. Normally watts means it's a per second. So force into distance per unit time divided by time is giving you the work done, right? So if you take the formula of work done, is nothing but Fs, because shear work done, shear force into shear velocity, that will give you the shear work done in unit time in terms of watts, W, whatever is mentioned in your question paper, in your question. So be careful. That's why. So what, as per the question, your answer has to be there. If you write work done as force into distance, your method is correct. But in question, it is asking about shear work done in unit in watts. So watts means work done in unit time. So always instead of distance, you need to consider as velocity. So we have seen forces also, how to calculate the forces. We also seen velocity, right? So if you know this formula, work done equal to Fs into Vs, you're going to calculate the work done. So in that, how to calculate Fs? So just now we have seen, right, in a few slides before. So Fs is nothing but Fc, because in that we having Fc as well as Ft. Both terms are given. So both terms are given in the question. If you know Fc, Ft, and also you can know alpha value also know, and also you know R value. So if you know these things, even you can calculate theta also, right? So in terms of this Fs, whatever we have seen in the previous slide, Fs is nothing but Fc into cos theta minus Ft into sin theta. Similarly, Vs also, we just know previous slide we have seen, Vs is nothing but cutting velocity Vc into cos alpha divided by cos theta minus alpha, right? Just now we have seen previous slide. So same that whatever the formulas we have seen previously, just simply you can substitute in that. You're going to get F value as well as the Vs value. Then substitute F value and Vs value in the Ws equation. You're going to get your work done, right? Very simple. But in
Sir,
this,
hello.
right? Is it simple or tough?
Hello, sir.
So, but only thing in this, we have Fc, we have Ft, we have alpha, but we don't have theta, right? So theta we need to calculate using whatever the formulas we previously discussed, right? So theta value, maybe you are aware. So you can have, because we don't have the friction value, that's why we are not taking the merchant relations here. So instead of merchant relation, we are taking tan theta value. So whatever the shear angle value, whatever we discussed before, 2 classes before. So tan theta equal to R cos alpha divided by 1 minus sin alpha. From this we can calculate theta value, because in this everything we know. We having R is nothing but
Sir, hello.
0.31. Alpha also given. Alpha is nothing but 10 degrees, right? If
Hello.
we know all this value, from this we can calculate the theta value, right? So how much theta value is coming? You substitute all these values. 0.31. So R value is nothing but 0.31. Alpha value is 10. So cos 10 divided by 1 minus 0.31 into sin 10. So in that, the tan theta value is coming as 0.32266, right? So from this, you're going to calculate theta value. Theta is nothing but tan inverse of, so whatever the numerical value you got it. So theta value is coming as 17.88. So now you see, you be having all the values. If you want to see these Fs and Vs, so we having all the terms are there. So now we can easily calculate whatever the terms are required. So we need to calculate this one, right? Fs and Vs. So this is required to calculate for calculating of this work done. So in this, we calculated theta also now. So theta is coming as 17.88, and Fc value already is there. Fc value is here, right? Fc is 650 kilonewton, and Ft value also there. So Ft value is nothing but here, 1200 kilonewton. Similarly for Vc also, Vc value also given here, 200, and cos alpha is here, right? Alpha is here. Theta just now we calculated this value. So by substituting this one, you're going to get both Fs value as well as the Vs value, and this value, Fs value, Vs value, you substitute in this, you're going to get Ws value, right? It's a very simple problem. It's not very difficult problem. Only thing we need to understand what are the parameters are not given, not have. So that parameter we need to calculate, right? So please calculate now. Tell me how much Fs and how much Vs is coming. So Fs is simple. So Fs is nothing but Fc into cos theta. Fc is nothing but 650 into cos 17.88. Just now we calculated. And minus Ft. Ft is nothing but 1200 kilonewton. 1200 into sine 17.88. Right? The simple you need to substitute in this. So you're going to get the Fs value. Shear force is coming as 250.18 newtons. So when you're calculating this kind of problem, units also very much important. So 250.18 Newton shear force has coming on this cutting process. Similarly, now we need to calculate velocity of shear. So velocity of shear also same thing. Formula is already given. So Vc into cos alpha. Vc is nothing but 200. You substitute Vc 200 cos 10 degrees divided by cos. The formula is here. Cos theta minus alpha. Theta is 17.88 minus 10. So you are going to get Vs. So nothing but shear velocity is coming as 198.84 meters per minute, right? Now you have both. You got both Fs you got and Vs you got. Now simple, just both you multiply. You're going to get the values. So PS nothing but whatever the power or whatever the work done is there. So actually work done supposed to write W. So this work done so is coming as multiplying these two factors, Fs and Vs. So this is the Vs and this is Fs. So please make sure the units has to be have proper.
हेलो
Right?
सर
Yes, tell me.
सर ये आप जो VC लिखे ना सर तो ये वर्टिकल कटिंग फोर्स है सर
Yes, VC you see.
VS है
No. Just you see. So VC is nothing but horizontal cutting force is considering as a VC. हम क्या करें? Horizontal cutting force को FC करें ना? और VC भी cutting force है. VC is nothing but cutting speed at which your cutting tool is moving. This is VC. So VC is clearly mentioned. Cutting speed is mentioned as 200 mm per minute. It's not feed. Don't take feed. So don't take feed. Feed is different and cutting speed is different. So take cutting speed. Clearly cutting speed is mentioned. So please take cutting speed. Don't take feed as a cutting speed. So this is given to confuse you. If you take feed as a cutting speed, then already cutting speed is there. Your answer is wrong. If you take this as a cutting speed, it is wrong. So cutting speed is clearly mentioned. So take that as a cutting speed.
ओके
Right? Any other students having any questions, any doubts in this problem? So critical thing, whatever coming here, you're going to get this value. You see, when you're multiplying this, so you are going to get this one, 49745.14 Newton mm, or nothing but Newton mm. What is the units of Newton mm? It is nothing but joule, right? So Newton mm or joule, same, joule per minute, right? But here, joule per minute is not a watt. So here asking in terms of watt. Then what you need to do? You need to divide this with 60. If you divide with 60, you're going to get this value. So 829.08 is the answer. This is the work done per in watts. So 829.08. If you want to, because 08 is small value, maybe you can consider as 829 watts. So 829 watts power is required for cutting of this material. So as per your question, your answer has to be there. If your answer is you stop with here, so for you are going to lose your marks. So you need to, otherwise you need to divide it by 60. Otherwise directly here you can divide with the 60. So whatever the speed, velocity is there. So velocity is given as 200 meters per minute is given. 200 meters per minute. Where is given? Velocity. So here. So instead of 200, so here itself you can divide by 6. Right? Here you can write it as 16 denominator. So whatever the values are coming. So this is coming something about 3.03 something you're going to get. Right? So 3.3 if you're getting, that is meters per second. So if you substitute that directly, you're going to get this value. So you can get 65, you can divide here, or maybe 60 you can divide here. Anywhere you can divide it. But your answer has to be in watts.
सर by 60
Yeah, by 60. So here, because you see Newton meters per minute it is, but we want something answer asking you the question work done in watts, W. So what is watts? Watts are nothing but work done in unit time. Joule per second is the watt. Joule are nothing but Newton meter per second is joule, is watt. But here you are getting Newton meter per minute. So this Newton meter per minute you have to convert into again in per second. To convert into per second, what we need to do? We need to divide with 60 here. Then we are going to get 829.08. If you're writing answer as this as your answer, so you're going to lose maybe 1 mark. 1 mark definitely you're going to lose. If you're writing this as your answer, you're going to get full marks. So like this steps you followed, and like this diagram you drawn, and like this calculation was done, you're deserving 10 marks. If you're not drawn this diagram, if it is for 5 marks, is fine. You can get the full 5 marks. But if you're not drawn diagram and this question is for the 10 marks, then you're going to get maybe 8 marks or maybe 9 marks. Because without this diagram, how you will getting this relation? So this diagram also you need to show. So here is merchant equation they told. So you need to calculate through this value only. Right? So everybody please note down this. Otherwise take a screenshot, then I will move for the next slide. Please note down this. Everybody please note down this solution. This solution is not there in the textbook. It may come in your exam. So please be careful. That's why note down. Don't only take the screenshot, possible note down. Even if you're taking screenshot now, so after when you're getting time, please notes in your class notes. Right? Can we go for next slide? So still 5 minutes are there. Just with one slide, I can one slide or two slides I'll complete. I'll stop for today's class. Can I go for next slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, students can take the screenshot and later on you can note in your class notes. So actually this question is from GATE exam. So 2 years before GATE exam, this is the question. So multiple choice question, and this question is for 1 mark. So in GATE normally this kind of question only for 1 mark, +1. If it is correct answer +1, if it is wrong answer -0.33. Means 3 wrong answers you're going to lose 1 mark in GATE. So this is the GATE question. So in this same question, so they given answers also. If you see the answer, you have 829 as well as you having a 49745. Both answers are there. If you give D as answer, you are wrong. If it is a B's answer is correct for you. If it is a B you are given, you are going to get +1. If you given D, you are going to get -0.33. 1 mark is gone already. Even whatever the correct answers you previously done, from that also almost 0.33 marks has gone. So in GATE exams, you need to be double careful. Right? So this problem, please focus on that. Then maybe we can go for the next slide. So with this slide, maybe I will stop it. So just I need to take here, cutting force versus rake angle as well as the velocity. So as you see here, so these are the curves drawn at different cutting velocities. And this is the rake angle and this is the cutting force. If you take this, so this is something about 150 foot per minute speed. So at this particular foot per minute, as your rake angle is increasing, if rake angle is going to be negative to positive, your force required, so cutting force required is decreasing. That's why I previously told also, if rake angle is positive, so as rake angle is increases, cutting force is decreasing. With less cutting force, you can remove the material, right? If angle is more, you need to have more force is required. For example, if you take at this 150 foot per minute speed, if the rake angle is -10, then your cutting force is something about 420 newtons are required, or 420 pounds are required. Where is the same speed, if your angle you're keeping somewhere about 5 or maybe somewhere about +10 degrees, your force is coming down. You required only 290 pounds force is sufficient. So 290 and here 420. So almost 130 pounds of force required less. That's why rake angle is very important when you're designing a cutting tool. Similarly, in addition to rake angle, your cutting force also depending upon velocity also. As velocity decreases, if you see as the velocity decreasing, you see your curve is changing. This is 150 foot per minute. This is 200. As the velocity increases, your cutting force is decreasing. So velocity is opposite to the cutting force. As velocity increases, your cutting force is decreasing. But in rake angle is increases, your cutting force is decreasing. There also it is quite opposite, right? So it increases, cutting flow, even speed increases, cutting force is decreasing. Even rake angle also increases, cutting force is decreasing. So always you need to maintain higher rake angle and less cutting, high cutting speed, high rake angle, high cutting speed, so that you are going to machine the material with less force. Less force means less power requirement. With less power consuming, you can manufacture your component. So less power means your expenses, cost of machining will come down. So always as an engineer, when you're designing anything, when you're designing a process, when you're designing a product, so always your intentions or your plans is to make the product in less price, right? So always prices matters. So for that, you need to take this parameter into consideration. So high rake angle tool, you need to take a tool which having higher rake angle, as well as you need to machine at high speed. Fine. So I think maybe with this, maybe I will stop my today's class. Just one thing before winding up. So previously, whatever we were seeing about linear cutting, the similar kind of things are there for circular cutting also in lathe. So these things maybe we can discuss in our next class in lathe, when you're discussing about lathe, then maybe we can discuss. So in lathe, maybe we're having a different kind of forces are coming. With these things, maybe we can discuss in the next class. So any question from today's class?
For rake angle is high for fast cutting machine, sir.
Yes, one minute.
When we
Go back
design
to the
that-
previous slide. 1 minute. I go back to the previous slide. Maybe just a minute. So here maybe you can see. So you see at high speed, as the speed increases, you see this is speed increases means here curve is this, whatever the lines are going down. As speed increases, your cutting force is decreasing. If you're going for 600 speed, 600 foot per minute speed, your cutting force is only 300 pound force is sufficient. But if your cutting velocity is 150, you need to have 420 pounds force is required. Right? So means as the speed is increases, your cutting force is decreasing. That's why we are seen as the speed increases, you are finishing, otherwise you are going to get the continuous tips. Right? Any other question?